Hello guys and welcome back to Field of Glory Empires, where we are playing as Saba in our first ever playthrough. We were declared war on by Arabia, and we are now going back to war. In the last war, I only took this because the supply line started running out. I didn't really have the versatility to combat them any better. Our army size has grown since then, as has our nation size, and now we're ready to maybe put up a better fight now that they've attacked us again. We did lose a location to just some independent barbarians that kind of spawned out of nowhere. Sadly, it is what it is. We're building a lot. Some of these wars up here have been ending, as we saw at the end of the last episode. The Antagonids have made peace with the Seleucids and Egypt. Have they all just made peace with each other? Well, no, because Macedon's still at war with a lot of them. Macedon's been growing. Macedonia, look at that. They've been growing quite a bit. They're doing quite well, and Sparta conquered the whole southern half of Greece here. They're at war with the Antagonids, really. That's quite brave. Sparta's been doing usually pretty well in the rankings. Carthage is falling apart to everybody around them. That's very Carthage of them. Very Carthage indeed. Mauria is still fighting. None of this is really our problem. It's just interesting to take a gander at it every now and then. Apparently it's harsh weather this turn. Doesn't create any scorched desert over here. So I don't really know what that affects. Maybe some battles. I'm not sure. Naval cost. What is a naval? I guess movement cost. I see. Let's end turn. Move into 269 BC to turn 42. And so... Okay. What is all this? Hold up. Oh, combat power 100. God help me. Well, we're attacking a garrison. That's fine. This concerns me. Their main army is over here. They have a lot of different small stacks, but let's see how this goes. The frontage is so small. This is kind of what this army design was based around, honestly. Oh, man. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, that's fine. Range phase. This time, we have way more skirmishers than them. Their skirmishing was basically useless. Holy crap, we just made pretty good. Oh, my God. Our regular infantry are kicking ass. And we can flank kill some stuff in the back. Now, this is all just a garrison, mind you. So, it is what it is. We don't seem to be taking damage, because we're just rolling so well. That's really good. Yeah, we killed them all, and I don't think we really took any damage at all. Well, that's good. And this is now occupied by me. I helped build this a little bit. I don't know how they've really maintained it since, but... Look at these glorious tribal hordes that are ranking #1 in the ranking culture. Oh my god, I'm #1 for legacy. I guess because now that the war's done, Seleucids and the others, they lost some of their objectives because they didn't annex them. Macedonia definitely deserves to be here. They've been growing a lot. There's Sparta doing pretty well. Rome, of course. I like how I'm #1. Change to our recruitment policy. Now we don't have enough manpower for anything like that. Hell no. Spend money to acquire metal or manpower. That's probably just refreshing, honestly. And we added a new feast day. That helps with loyalty everywhere. And we were raided, but the raiders were defeated. Oh yeah, here they are. I got a progress token because we took this objective. We've already owned it in the past. We just had to give it back up as part of the peace treaty because I kind of needed that war to end. Now, a slave has been acquired over here and a new population has grown. That's really interesting. I'll move this citizen off of food to infrastructure for right now. And what did we build here? What was built? A hemp field. That's more food. That's good. We have a lot more slots and a lot more need for food and infrastructure both, because this place is still pretty new. Let's go ahead and build the shepherd's house. A ranch was completed over here. That helps a lot. We can move some dudes off of food for sure. Those are you sure, but I kind of want to save getting those. Those are not really too attractive to me. A street parlor, money and culture. And you can get more stuff from papyrus, which we don't really have access to. The stud for more food sounds nice. I'm going to actually get off of food here with the rest of my citizens and then just make that stud as fast as possible. There's a new population down here. It's just a citizen on food. Not that big of a deal. I could just put him on infrastructure. He's building the smokehouse. We have 2 slots there, which is good. And yeah, nothing really special or new here. We're kind of full up on building slots. Not much I can really do there. Not much at all. Well, that's fine. Some more food buildings are about to finish. We can now move over this way in one turn, so we will with our smaller army. Accidentally sort of fighting a 2-front war here. Still have this border to kind of protect us in the long run. Our manpower is negative right now, probably because we are recovering from battle to some extent. Someone is, yeah. Somebody is. Definitely don't want to recruit any more then. That's for sure. Now, taking a look over here, we got the slaves and citizens. They're already set up like that. Still the glassworks and the perfumery, an abandoned palace again. This was here before. I remember, because this was their capital, maybe? I forget, actually. But I remember this was already here, yeah. And a public works is queued up, but nothing's building at the moment. I feel like I queued that up forever ago. And I feel like this place just hasn't gone anywhere since. But now it's, well, it's got the new Feast for Calendar. That's nice. Just Conquered and Occupied are going to be pretty negative on it. Infrastructure is the last thing that really matters then. What's going to matter entirely right now is the food. Oh man, what the hell? Productivity 2, 0. What the fuck? What is this? Is it just the debuff to the food penalty? That's crazy. Well, we're not positive on food here anyway, so let's just try to do that. Our army's going to be consuming it. This is the same sort of quote-unquote problem we ran into. 28 fucking units. Are you kidding me? That is so much. I have no idea how we're going to deal with that and the garrison, which has palace guard on it, by the way. Ethiopia is still at war with Arabia with us, but their capital, no, just a city, is under siege by desert army. That's kind of funny. This is why you need walls everywhere, though. Oh, hey, look. This got taken from Ethiopia as well. Yeah, they don't really have their military back up to strength yet too well. So now the independents are just fucking them over. Nubia, meanwhile, is going to fight Egypt now. That's great for them, I suppose. We're kind of at a standstill again. Because even though these guys are weakened from their raid, and they are weakened, we still have to worry about the 2 palace guard here and other things that are just going to be pushed to the front of the battle. And they're going to have all this spare. And they're going to be defending in mountains. So we're kind of in the same situation as last time. An epidemic's outburst. Are you fucking kidding me? Health, manpower, loyalty. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's for them. Still, that's their capital. Wow, they have really low loyalty here. But no revolt risk, nonetheless. They have low loyalty everywhere. They haven't really built their lands up that much, have they? No, dude. Arabia, what the fuck? They barely build anything. Their starting locations are built up, but they haven't really built up much new stuff at all. The main problem is that they're like all military. They are all military and it hurts, but they're not seemingly able to build up any other permanent infrastructure, which is good, I guess, question mark. Oh god, still, they have enough garrisons to be a pain in the ass, and if they put everything on their capital, that's going to be a problem as well. For now, there's not much else I could do, so let's go ahead and just hit end turn. See what happens. See what they do. If they come to me, I think we'll be much better off. Now, we do have the battle over here against the independents that took this away from us. A lot of skirmishing. They're basically nearly dead already. So even though we don't technically have any infantry, that skirmishing was just so good that we slaughtered them. Yep. Thank you. Give that back, please, and thank you. Yep. It only has 1 population again. Probably took it as a slave. Young Empire. Yeah. There's a stable empire, Macedonia. They're the only one that's made it that far. Religious ceremony. I've already done this. I could do it again. I mean, okay. Sure. Gather mercenaries. Gain mercs for some money. If there are local tribes around your nation. Spend 1,500 money. Get 10 units. This is just by having a bunch of money. Get 10 units that are just random, I guess. Cost of money depend on our civilization level. Probably very high right now, given my level. That's an interesting one. That's better than the slave market right now, certainly. That's definitely better. Hell, I might just choose to try to distribute some slaves. Spread them out a little bit. Not that we have an insane amount. No, sir, we definitely don't. Some pops are growing, I'm noticing, as I'm clicking around. Yeah, distributing those slaves could be pretty helpful to me now that we need some, like, over here, for example. So let's just distribute and disperse slaves in the nation. We're not going to buy any. Not saying I'm going to gather these mercenaries. It's not what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily going to gather mercenaries, but it would be pretty useful. Because mercenaries don't cost manpower. And right now I'm short on manpower. And what do I have? Money. Quite a bit of it, in fact. And that could be what I need to kind of turn this side and, you know, win this properly. Formed up a new army to protect the nation. Oh, gosh. I think that was a decision. Oh my god, that's too heavy infantry. God help me. Oh, this is something I didn't expect. By having good healthcare, you could just randomly get a new citizen for free just out of thin air. That's kind of cool. Got a slave over here. That helps with food, which is, of course, stuff we need. A shepherd house was built over here. That's more food. Food is looking pretty nice over here. A pleasure house. That would help with loyalty. We don't have perfumes to buff it up. I could go for some infrastructure instead, or some health and other things. These are both, honestly, some pretty decent options. I think, also we have slots. Or I might go for the crafter one. We'll take the wheel maker. That's a lot of infrastructure. We have some room at our home now. I really might gather mercenaries. I really might. Because I haven't built the ability to... a palisade at our home! I haven't seen this pop up ever. We're getting it. Even if it takes a slot and then I can't build again forever, we're getting this. We are 100% getting this. Oh, it's like our only place that isn't walled off in our main province. So that's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. We finally have some passive food production here that I can kind of go more heavily into other things. We could get a wall. Sure, get a wall, because clearly we're in danger up here. Right? Clearly we're in danger. Over here, we have a Nubian slave now. I don't know where the hell this came from, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm barely able to speed up the production of the garum shop, which is mainly just there as a very quick way of getting more food. But we're missing salt and other things to really, really make that better. And now we just have these units over here, which are pretty well off, honestly. We could try to go attack them on the east here, where they're not really defending. But that's tough. I think I will definitely... Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to get this. Send emissaries and then some gold under escort. I'm going to get the merc stack. That's a lot of money, but I think that's going to be more useful to me right now than slaves or anything else, for that matter. And I think I can kind of send them up this side and do a combined offensive, hopefully, and then maybe kick some ass over here, or at the very least, maybe try to split them up somehow. I'm not too confident that 8 skirmishers and 4 cameliers can really deal with urban militias and stuff that would raise up around here. I'm really not confident about that. And so I'm going to move these guys back down here for right now. Kind of keep them in range in case they're needed. But for now, we're going to put some faith in that merc stack that's coming. Oh, I see. Nubia's reign of terror was short-lived. Signs of what? Decrepitude and inefficiency are showing in Nubia. Interesting. And the Egyptians are going down the Nile kicking their asses. That's about what I'd expect, honestly. Why are the Seleucids over here? Wow, did they annex this? What a weird location. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway. We've done basically all of our moves then. Also, before we hit end turn, I just want to say that I actually just reloaded this save because I noticed that gather mercenaries from local allies? Yeah, this is not what it sounds like. It says you're gathering mercenaries. Sure, there are some mercenaries in there, but it is not most of them. Most of them are not mercenaries. Most of them are normal units, and then you will be fucked for manpower. So, scratch that, I suppose. And let's continue still to proceed into the next turn. That was going to be kind of like game over-ish because they worded something poorly. They really should have worded that better. This game could use better tooltips. It's probably like my biggest complaint that I do have. And we are still a young empire. Legacy ranking number 1. Very good. They're amassing power over here. They got 111 right now. That's not even the problem, you know? Well, I mean, it kind of is because they have these epic heavy infantry now. The biggest problem really is just... Oh, you know, very bad on the offense, I see. The biggest problem is... Well, yeah, that's part of the problem, right? Defense bonuses is this garrison on top of it. They have so much heavy infantry. It's crazy. Absolute insanity. Well, I have all this money now. No way to actually hire mercenaries. I definitely have had opportunities to build that, but I just haven't. We built a monument down here. Speaking of, wow, a mercenary recruitment center. I feel like I'd want that in my capital, though, if anyway, because you could build more things in your capital, just in general. So I'd rather have other things here. And there's nothing here that does not consume a slot. I think I'll just build the ranch here to make cattle rather than the smokehouse, which needs cattle. We have so much excess infrastructure in this region, and I got the tooltip that showed me that, like, yeah, by the way, it is just kind of like fully shared in the entire province. Infrastructure is shared, and that's why everything is just building so quickly right now. The capital is where we really need dudes on infrastructure, like, all the time. All the time. It would be particularly harsh soon for men and crops. I could probably pull some dudes off of infrastructure elsewhere in the region. We don't even need to stay, like, locally positive, but still, we do want to stay positive at the very least. Maybe, like, having one guy on money should start to become a little bit of a norm. Otherwise, shifting some dudes over to food might not be a terrible idea. I mean, look at that. Still positive on infrastructure, even there. Here, I feel like it wouldn't be quite the same. Put one guy on money. Yeah, no, it's not quite the same. But again, you see, it's hardly changing the result because infrastructure is shared. I'll try to keep it, like, locally positive, but we could put more into food, certainly. From, like, the moment you have a province, you can pretty much do this. Keep at least one guy on infrastructure, but I'm definitely learning. I don't know if the AI is as good at managing this, and eventually I would automate things, right? So that could create some interesting situations. Let's move you guys up. I mean, that seems like enough right there. That seems like enough right there. Maybe one extra for you guys, just because the infrastructure rating is so darn low. But still need to keep as many as possible on infrastructure here. All of that will be shared because we're not really building much or anything. Buildings are progressing around here, except for right here, where we're still under pacification now, and we have to worry about that. This manpower is just really the big problem, and we're encountering the same problem again with this war, is food. Now, we have enough food for right now. That much is fine. If they raid us again, hopefully they get their asses beat. But as of right now, I don't see, like, there's a very tiny garrison, but not really recovered. They need to come to me. That's the only way this war goes. I wasn't really ready to fight them, you know? I wasn't really there yet. They just kind of declared war on me. And they're going to be populated haven. Free unit support. What the hell? That sounds useful. Oh, settled oasis. Look at this. If populated only by your national ethnicity, will get a settled oasis building for free. That's awesome. You guys are lucky, huh? You got a new leader as well. Still very good military. Pacifier. Bad administrator. You can see that they don't really want peace as much. The war hasn't been going on long enough. Actually, they're kind of okay with it, but there's no way that I'm bowing out without taking something, right? So if I was going to bow out, I would take Arga. I would. They only have a 10% chance of accepting this right now. If I wait 2 more turns, we have a better option. We have a better chance. So for now, we're just going to kind of hold our ground. They seem to have their whole military in one location anyway, as is. So I guess for now, we can just keep going. Oh my god, dude, they're just striking right at the heart of Nubia. What the fuck? Egypt. Kind of terrifying, honestly. Let's progress to the next turn and see what happens. I keep getting prompted with these damn feasts, which I guess, you know, I'll just keep repeating the feast because I do like it. I do like it. It encourages me to build religious buildings as well. We got a stud done here. That's nice. Ah, yes, the best religious building there is. A pleasure house. Gotta go there for your weekly worship, right? Right. Well, You know, this is a growing location, so I guess a smokehouse would be a pretty good idea. We do have local stuff here for that. Local materials. Whoop, whoop. Oh, how'd I get here? A monument has been completed here. I can assume I understand why. We could go for the usurer. Everything else is going to take a slot. Is money that relevant? No, I have so much of it, honestly. And we're way ahead on culture right now, among many other things that we are way ahead on. Food and infrastructure are probably the best things that we could have here. Probably right now. However, I feel like we would get this eventually almost no matter what. Just because it is free for slot usage, it just gives some other weird little penalties. But I don't know, I just don't want it right now. You know? I just don't want it right now. Maybe some more food just to boost up growth. We're about to get some growth anyway. I'm going to go back on infrastructure here. The ratio is not as impressive as it once was. I'm going to go up to food here. Make that ratio a little bit better. The tools are about to finish here. That's going to consume some money. Over here, we finally built the garum shop. That gives us some money. That gives us some food. That's nice. And, oh look, a palisade. Not really the most productive thing, but I'll take it. We do make more food now, so I could go more into infrastructure. This is all local, because, you know, this doesn't have a province yet. So we do need to kind of split that up a little bit, I suppose. I'll just split it half and half for now. Over here, we're still just, once again, trying to grow population. And then over here, I still need to build something as well. What are we building here? It's kind of similar options, except we have 2 building slots available. Well, the brickwork, that would spawn a whole lot of infrastructure. Oh, yes, it would. And we have stone. We do have access to stone. I think that's a good one then. Yeah, let's get the brickwork there. Sure, why not? Over here, not really anything changing. Still listed as just conquered and still probably... Yeah, one more turn with war duration. Maybe it starts going positive eventually. I'm not sure. The peace chance is going up and up and up and up. Why is it so high? Part of it's because we have allies or vassals. They're overstretched. They understand that I'm stronger. It's funny, they had me at a bit of a choke point, though. They lost one of their units. That's weird. But would they give me this? This is demanding, so they wouldn't be very happy with this. I could still offer it, just to see. I don't know if they'll really accept it. 18%. I might just wait that one extra turn, knowing that I'll get an extra, like, amount. Oh, they raided me again. We soundly defeated the interlopers. That's good. And they're probably injured. Or at least a little bit. Just a little bit, really. This is going to be a little back and forth, isn't it? I can already tell it's going to be a little back and forth, yeah. Unfortunately. Well, in that case... Not really much else for me to do right now. Wow, Ethiopia, like, permanently lost this to some fucking randos. And they're still under siege here. Ethiopia, bro, you have an army. What's wrong? Why can you not deal with these desert independent fuckers? What a useless ally. They're in my war, but they're only good at generating war score. Let's go into the next year here. Harsh weather. Ooh. Egypt's name keeps moving. So I think they're growing. Yeah, they've almost cut Nubia in half. And another new feast day to the calendar. Hell yeah. At this point, I could probably buy more slaves, but actually, I don't want to do that. We did redistribute some slaves earlier. Oh, hey, look. Is that a new pot? That's a new pot. Put you into infrastructure, I suppose. This is where it matters the most. This is where the dam can burst. And we can now build something new. A military store. Reduction in manpower cost by 20%. Oh my god. That's awesome. It also raises the equipment stockpile. I don't even care about the equipment stockpile. I care about reduction in manpower cost. Maybe it's like initial only and not over time. But that would still be really, really helpful. That would be incredibly helpful. And we're not exactly low on anything else over here. That is pretty useful. I'm going to go for that. Now, over here, we finished building the tools. That did not take up a slot, and that was kind of the whole point of building that. A harbor could be useful. Siege resist, manpower. Oh, that would be so useful. I need manpower. This from population isn't going nearly fast enough. 2 infrastructure, take up a slot. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Give me that. We probably want one more guy on infrastructure here. Let's try to balance it out a little bit. Maybe even over here as well. We make plenty of food, at least. A major harbor. What one am I building over here? Just a normal harbor. It's like a normal harbor, but major. It gives money again. The other one, like, loses money? I don't remember. I don't really know what the difference is. But money, probably from trading hemp. 0 slot usage, but it is just better, essentially. More siege resist as well. I mean, that sounds really nice to me. No slot usage? Yeah. Major harbor? Give me that. I'll take that. Sure. Why not? Use the provincial infrastructure a little bit better. And a new population from health. A ranch was completed here, but we're out of build points. We're out of build points. Let me put one guy on money making here. We don't have anybody on money making there. This one's a tough choice. There's only one slot I could either use for a harbor or a public bath, of which we've never had anything like that before. I think I want the harbor, though. More manpower. Yeah, you lose infrastructure when you upgrade to a harbor. And you get money with the major harbor. I'm going to go for the harbor. Also, I've seen some more useful tooltips. Yeah, every military building in a province kind of counts. Everything is always built in the provincial capital as well. And separately, you can't really control where the navy gets built. It just kind of builds somewhere. And then you just have to kind of deal with that. Everything that we are building over here is going pretty swimmingly, pretty well, pretty nice. They haven't moved from over here yet. We are still burning through this food. And if we go look at our diplomacy now with them, 37% chance. Why do I feel like that number has gone down? That's weird. You despise some nations we appreciate. That's weird. What if I asked you for this now? Yeah, my overall chance has gone down. Laws and war score isn't very good if I'm trying to take Arga. What if I wasn't trying to take Arga? What if I was trying to take Salma? Which I really don't want to take Salma. They'd be way more likely due to war score. I don't think they'll accept it, but I'll propose it. Because if I get out of this war, I'd like it to be with Arga. I'd like them to give me Arga specifically. It's the second time I've taken it over. It is an objective. It has these 2 tier 3 buildings in it, for fuck's sake. This needs ivory. I have ivory. It has a worship palace already, an abandoned palace. Has a way too much decadence in it. But I don't want to just suffer another loss of a token. I'd like to take this. I could maybe send these units up here. We could try to blaze through a little bit, but they have so much heavy infantry there, and they're so buffed up on the defensive. We'll just try to ride it out a little bit. Worst comes to worst, you know, I could always try to just move and take something else that's less valuable. And then maybe just try to leave these units here as a defensive unit in my own territory. That could be a thing. Maybe not amazing of a thing, but that could be a thing. Or, you know, maybe Ethiopia can get good and help me. I don't know. I ended turn. Nothing really happened. Another ceremony. We'll just keep the feasts. Keep the feasts going. People of Arga felt the abandoned palace would be more useful as infrastructure. Oh, we just tore down their abandoned palace. That is so funny. And it became infrastructure. Which is being drained every turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? Not really. Why is it even being drained? By upkeep of something. I'm not really sure of what. It doesn't show the upkeep very well. And our ruler's health degraded to very poor. They raided me again, and they were soundly defeated again. This is actually starting to, like, kill some of their units. Interestingly. It's not really harming mine. But it doesn't change the fact that these palace guard are here. They're a bit beyond me. Unless I have, like, some more heavy infantry. It's a bit beyond me. And manpower is still not that great. Still not too great. Honestly. Going and attacking other things really just might be my best bet with them. It might be. Because as of right now, again, I'm just kind of stuck. Unless I can somehow acquire more troops. And maybe I could. Maybe I could, but with only +8 manpower generation, we're not too well off in that regard, for sure. We just got an extra population here, which allows me to build something new. That's good. 0 slots on a crafter district? Sure. I'll take some money from that. That sounds fine enough. And then right here, we built a smokehouse, so food and health are improved. Let's move you to infrastructure. Well, manpower is a problem, so I don't see why we shouldn't just say, hey, let's get an herbalist. Sure. Let's move you to infrastructure, and the health will help as well, and then move you to money. You can spread you guys out a little bit. A brickwork was completed here, and we can once again go for an herbalist. Getting these built would allow me to expand my military a little bit and then maybe wage a little more war. Yeah, let's go for the herbalist. The manpower will be useful over here. We built a palisade. That's good. These options are all kind of crappy, but I think I'll take the food from the stud. That's probably a pretty good option. And we're about to get the palisade done over here. And that's everything we can build for right now. But we are out of time for this episode, so I will call this one here. And we will progress later. We're in quite a tricky situation. We're still not quite strong enough to deal with Arabia, but maybe with this incoming manpower, we can be. For now, though, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.